Well, hello. Great news, everybody. Guess what's new on Netflix? That's right, Star Trek. Finally, Netflix is going to have all the Star Trek episodes that you can actually stream online. So I know a lot of you guys are kind of new to Star Trek. You saw the Star Trek movie a couple years ago, and you think, "Ah, man, this is all super cool." So let's go back, and I'm going to talk about each of the series that are available for live streaming on instant viewing on Netflix. And we'll start with Star Trek, the original series. It's also known as the TOS. The original series is TOS. I'm going to give you like 2 episodes that I think that are really good for each of the series. And the original Star Trek, there's so many really cool episodes. One that comes to mind being probably the episode that you can get to it and not necessarily watch. It's actually on the first season. It's the 29th episode on there. It's called The City on the Edge of Forever. And this is one of the classic episodes that basically they go back in time. They go back to 1930s, and then Kirk has to make a decision to basically save the world or stay with a woman that he loves. In that same series, in season 1, number 23, is Space Seed. And if you ever seen The Wrath of Khan, this is basically the episode that comes from this episode here. There's Khan in this episode here. So this is the first time we meet Khan. He's a superhuman, basically, from the 20th century-ish range, and they frozen through time, and they meet Kirk and whatnot. So that's ones I definitely recommend on that part there. Let's go to the Next Generation, and I'll do 2 episodes of Next Generation. This is the outfit. This is actually the first season outfit that I have on, but I probably won't recommend anything from the very first season on there. One of the episodes that I just am in love with, and I think it's one of these episodes again that you don't have to necessarily be a part of. Know everything about Star Trek and really appreciate still. It's an episode that's called Tapestry, and I believe it's in the 6th season, if I remember right. Yeah, 6th season, and it's number 15, Tapestry. And basically, this is a chance. There's a character called Q, and Picard dies, and he runs into Q in the afterlife, and basically he gives Captain Picard a chance to go back and change some things of his past. And it was when he was young, and it turns out that without what he did there were rash things that he did in his youth, it wouldn't make him the captain that he is today. So that's a great episode. It's called Tapestry, and it's in season 6. Another one that pops to mind, and it's Yesterday's Enterprise, and that's probably one of the episodes that, if you're a fan of Star Trek, you know a lot about. And I believe that's in, remember, let me see, it's either 5 or 6, and maybe 4. Yesterday's Enterprise. Maybe it's, I don't think it's 3. Is it 3? Yeah, okay, it is, actually it's 3. It's 3, it's number 15, Yesterday's Enterprise. And this is basically, it's a time vortex. The history of the Federation has changed. They're in a war with the Klingons, and the war is going very badly. And anyways, it's a really great episode. I think those 2 episodes from Next Generation are definitely ones that will kind of stand out for you if you haven't seen them before. They also have Voyager on there as well. Well, with Voyager, they're actually the ones I like the most are basically some of the big 2-part episodes. And one is in season 3. It's called Futures End Part 1 and Futures End Part 2. It's number 8 and 9 on season 3 of Voyager. And basically the ship goes back in time, once again into the 20th century, kind of fish out of water. And basically it goes back to 1999, and they basically kind of get caught up by this big computer guy that kind of, and he basically tries to take hold of the technology and does a bunch of stuff with it. And it's actually cooler than that. And then the other one's in season 4, and this is like one, everything falls apart. And it's called, it's number 8 and 9. It's the Year of Hell Part 1, Year of Hell Part 2. This is another time ship type thing, and basically everything, if you want everyone to see a starship that everything falls apart, these are the episodes to watch here, and everything is just completely falling apart at this point here. Sadly, they don't have a DS9 on here, and anyways, hopefully at some point they'll put DS9 on here. They do actually do have Enterprise though, which is kind of interesting in some ways. So let's see. I'll give you a couple episodes. One of my favorite episodes from Enterprise, and it's probably my favorite episode. It's in the second season. It's the second episode of the second season. It's called Carbon Creek, and basically the Vulcan is talking to the captain and his engineer, and they are basically she's telling them a story, and it's a story about how these Vulcans land in this area, this mining town called Carbon Creek, and anyways, and this is again this back in the, right after Sputnik happened, so it's back in time a bit, and you notice I kind of like these back in time episodes a whole lot. So Carbon Creek probably was my most favorite episode of the Star Trek Enterprise as well. Let's see, in season 4 they basically kind of got in their groove, and had some really cool things started going on from that point there. And this is a 2-part one because it pays a lot of homage to the Mirror Mirror episodes from the TOS, and it's number 18 and 19. It's Mirror Mirror Darkly Part 1 and Mirror Mirror Darkly Part 2. So it's 18 and 19 in there. So anyways, it's pretty neat if you get a chance to check that out as well. Well, even though Netflix right now doesn't have DS9 to stream, there's a couple episodes I like. One's in season 3. It's number 3. It's called The House of Quark, and basically Quark gets to be a Klingon in some ways, and it's kind of a neat little episode. And another episode I really like is in season 4. It's called Three Little Green Men, I believe, or something like that. It's number 8. Yeah, Little Green Men. And basically Quark and Rom and Nog all go back into Roswell in 1947. Yeah, okay. So again, I kind of like these time episodes a whole lot on there. So that was a really cool episode to check out, and it has a lot of cool homages to sci-fi and whatnot like that. In any case, you can try these episodes out and see what you like. If you like to watch them all the way through, DS9 has a really cool arc to it. I think Voyager has a really good arc to it. Next Generation, the arc isn't as strong. It's kind of more strong towards the end of it. And in the original series, there isn't as much of an arc as it is kind of a philosophy going on there. Probably the one that's closest to Gene Roddenberry's vision of what the future is Star Trek, the TOS original series, and then the next one will be the Next Generation, where there's a positive thing going to the future. The other ones, they start to get more darker. DS9 is probably the darkest one out of all of them. In a lot of ways, I think Enterprise was affected greatly by, because it came out right after basically 9/11 happens, and that really kind of gave the tone of it being a lot darker than maybe what it was initially was going to be on there. So the Enterprise one, and Voyager, there's some really cool things in it. It's not quite as dark as DS9, and the ship all by itself. You're the only member of the Federation, basically 70, 80 light years away from home. So you are, it takes you 80 years to get back home or something like that. So you're just 70, I think it was 70,000 light years away from home. So they're a long way from home. And that was really kind of interesting in a lot of ways. So anyways, check it out. And again, in the 24th century, they got cool threads like this, but they can't cure nearsightedness. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this, and as always, rock and roll.